It's a cold, windy day. It's reaching -10 temperatures here. Let's see what kind of effect the weather is going to have on this game. And here we go. Opening drive, second play of the game. Renton get off to a great start with his 50-yard run by Joe Malik. Joe Malik's having a solid season this year, as he has 370 all-purpose yards and 7 touchdowns. Chosen Few strikes back with some strong running of their own. Here's a nice 12-yard run by Jung. King is starting at running back in place for the injured Dwayne Paul, whose playing time will be limited for this game. Sean King is widely regarded as one of the best free safeties in the league. However, he has had no carries this season as a running back, so it'll be interesting to see how he does in his new role. Chosen Few continue to run the ball as they hand the ball off to Sean King once again for 12 more yards. However, a few plays later, facing a heavy rush, Elroy Officer's pass is intercepted by Jacob Karekis as his pass gets pulled back by the wind. That was Karekis' 4th interception in the past 3 games. He's been on a tear in these playoffs. On the ensuing drive, Renton tries a little trickery with his double reverse to Perry Sohi for a 12-yard gain. Renton pressing. Karim Bensari tries to hit Perry Sohi in the end zone. However, it's intercepted by Kyle Creswell. Chosen Few tries a little trickery of their own with this double reverse to Kyle Creswell, who throws it to none other than Dwayne Paul, who gets his first touch of the game. On the next play, Elroy Officer tries to throw a quick pass to Orlando Puel, but he bobbles it, and it lands in the hands of Kyle Creswell, who makes a few defenders miss before he can take it all the way in for the score. Let's take a look at that play again. See here, Orlando Puel a little bit surprised with the pass as he doesn't expect it to come so quickly. Then you see Karim Bensari try to reach for it, but it's just out of his reach and into the hands of Kyle Creswell, who was able to avoid a few defenders before he could go in for the score. Moving on to the second half. Chosen Few trying to get off to a quick start in the second half. Elroy Officer avoids the rush, sees a man deep, tries to hit it to Kyle Creswell, but it's intercepted by Jeff Scott, who takes it back until he's tripped up at the Chosen Few 12. Renton trying to capitalize on the turnover. Karim Bensari faces a heavy rush from Gregory Brown. He rolls out. He tries to rifle a pass to Jeff Scott, but it's intercepted by Dwayne Paul, and Chosen Few gets it right back. On the ensuing drive, Chosen Few goes back to the running game with this nice cutback run by Sean King for a 15-yard gain. However, Chosen Few is unable to capitalize on the play and they're forced to punt. With a successful drive to the Chosen Few 6-yard line, Renton tries to increase their lead. A fake handoff by Karim Bensari, and a nice block by Dave Sohi. Bensari finds an open Jeff Scott, who makes a tremendous leaping grab in the end zone for the touchdown. That old play was set up by a beautiful play-action fake, and a nice block by Dave Sohi to give him the extra second in the pocket. And finally, you have the height and leaping ability of Jeff Scott. It's something we've seen him do time and time again this season. Officer rolls out, but he's unable to escape Matt DePela, who gets the second sack of the game. Matt DePela, he's been an absolute force today. Standing 6'2" and 230 pounds, he has a tremendous presence out there on the field. His numbers this season are amongst league leaders, despite the fact that he missed a few games this year. Let's take a look at the impact DePela's been having in this game. Going back to the first half, here we got DePela on left end. And you can see him overmatching the offensive lineman here, as he gets in for the sack. He uses power and technique to get leverage on would-be blockers. And then on this play, he's lined up at left end again, this time matched up with skate-around officer. And then you see as he pushes the lineman away that he has enough speed and presence of mind to catch up to the rolling out quarterback. Renton Mule trying to put this game out of reach. We saw earlier when Ben Sari showed a fake handoff to Correcus. But this time they really handed off to him. Correcus is able to use his speed to hit the outside corner and avoid a diving defender on his way to a touchdown, putting Renton Mule up by 14. Last chance for Chosen Few. They have to score a quick touchdown here. A quick hitch to Puel, who tosses it to Creswell, who's able to get downfield for a big gain. Chosen Few's trademark hook and ladder play gets them to midfield. Next play, time winding down. Officer hits Dwayne Paul for a pass and he's able to get out of bounds to stop the clock. 2 plays later, hands the ball off to Creswell. Gets a 96-yard gain, but he's unable to get out of bounds. 3rd down. They need a big play here, and the clock's still going. No, but before he can get it off, he's sacked by Matt DePela again for his 4th sack of the game. Chosen Few just cannot stop DePela on the line. Last opportunity here. 4th down. Officer gets a snap. He sees Butterfield in the end zone, but it's tipped and intercepted by Jeff Scott, and that's the game. Renton Mule are the 2008 All-Stat Super Bowl champions. Looking at the game summary, it was not a pretty game offensively, which was likely due to the poor weather conditions. As you can see, the offensive numbers were well below league averages. The passing game was not much of a factor today, as quarterbacks had trouble getting a good grip on the ball, and receivers had trouble running their routes and getting a handle on passes. Renton Mule's quarterback, Karim Bensari, still managed to get a 50% completion percentage. However, he had 2 interceptions and only 64 yards passing. Joe Malik managed to maintain an 11.5 yards per carry average, mostly due to his big run on the second play of the game. On Chosen Few's side, Elroy Officer uncharacteristically threw for a 36% completion percentage, and he had those 3 costly interceptions. It definitely wasn't his day today. Sean King had a pretty good day running the ball in place for the injured Dwayne Paul, as he netted 43 yards on 8 attempts for a 5.4 yards per carry average. But in the end, Matt DePela was the star today, as he was unanimously chosen as the game's MVP. He was nothing short of dominating on the defensive end. However, what was often overlooked in this game was his tremendous contributions on the offensive line. Unfortunately for Chosen Few, this loss snapped the 5-game winning streak they had since the end of the regular season. Overall, it was a well-fought game that was tied at the half, but Renton Mule got it done when it counted, and they are your 2008 All-Stats Super Bowl champions.